Welcome back. Today I'm going to try to solve some puzzles on chess.com as part of my daily ongoing chess development. If you're new to my channel, I'm not a titled player or chess coach, I'm just a random person trying to get better at chess. Now I've started to come to terms with the fact that I might not get better at chess. I think I've gotten better at understanding parts of the game, but my rating hasn't gone up and I'm getting pretty frustrated recently. But one thing that does calm me and is very interesting to me is solving puzzles. So I'm just going to do that. They have changed the interface recently, but I found in the settings how to go back to classic mode so I can keep track of my normal puzzle score here. Well, in this one, they have just moved their queen out of danger, but it is now pinning my knight. I guess I could take the bishop, and then when they take my queen, I could take it back. And if they don't take my queen, I can put the knight back. So that one seems fairly simple, but okay, it was fairly simple. Great, you found the solution. Yeah, these little motivational messages here, they remind me a little bit of Duolingo, the language learning app. After you correctly translate 2 or 3 sentences in a row, that Duolingo will pop up and say, you're doing great, keep it up, or something, when I would rather it just go to the next lesson. But anyway, oh, this one only has a 30% pass rate. That's weird. And it's only rated 991. And one thing I've noticed that's very strange over the last couple of puzzle sessions that I've done is the number of attempts right here. I mentioned it a lot in my last video, and I'm not going to mention it again here unless I have one that has a normal number, but all of them have been less than 100 attempts, which is very strange because in the past they would have hundreds, if not thousands of attempts. So anyway, I have a feeling that chess.com has reset the number of attempts for a bunch of these puzzles, because surely I'm not getting that many brand new puzzles in a row. Anyway, next. Okay, they have brought their queen back for some reason to threaten my queen, but I don't know why I can't just take it. Can't I just take it? Because if they take me, I have this check here, and they go back and I take it, and that's mate. I'm just going to take it and check, and then checkmate. All right. I said I wasn't going to mention it again, but this also has fewer than 100 attempts. Next. Yeah, this one, I'm just going to take that pawn with my rook. I think they have to take back, and then I'll checkmate here, right? That's checkmate. No, it's not. Oh, because their queen's there. Oh, that's funny. I had to go here, I guess. Yeah, wow, I messed that one up. Yeah, I had to go right here, and then they had to block, and that's checkmate. Well, that's funny and embarrassing a little bit, but next. Okay, they've attacked my rook. I have some points to make up. Let's see if I can make them up. I can check them, and then they'll move over, so that won't accomplish a whole lot. I could also threaten their rook, but then if they take mine, and I take theirs, and they take my knight, then I take their knight, and that's just an even trade. So there's something else here. I guess I could move the rook up, but if I just move the rook up, then what happens? I'm not sure. But I just realized that if I did do this check first and they moved over, then I could do a rook trade here, and then I could check them with the knight. They could either come toward the knight or take my bishop, which would still be sitting there, and then I would get their other rook. That seems really complicated, but I'm going to try it because okay, they did that. I'm going to take that rook. That was it. And then should I leave my bishop undefended here and go up the exchange? Is that enough? I don't know if that's enough or not. I guess it is. I just went up in exchange. Oh, but that one only has a 28% pass rate. Let's keep going. Oh, they just left the defense of their rook. Can't I just win their rook? Not only do I win their rook, but they have to bring the queen back, and I'll take it, I think. Because that's a check. They can't get out of check because my rook's covering that, so they'll have to block. Yeah, I think that's just going to be a checkmate. Oh, it didn't go all the way to checkmate. Can we go to the analysis board? Don't I have like a mate in 2 or something? After they play this, or mate in 3. Okay, so I take this. Oh, they have to block with the bishop first, and then I would take, and then they have to block with the queen. Why didn't it keep going? I'm curious. Do I have multiple options here? Because if they block with that, I would just take it, wouldn't I? Yeah, I only have one good move, and then they only have one legal move, and I only have one good move. That puzzle should have kept going. All right, next. Oh, we're bringing this pawn down. I think I have to bring my king forward because they can't get out of mate here. They won't even be able to check me, so I'm going to do that, and then they'll have to block with the rook, and that's checkmate. Next. Okay, we are about even on material. Do I have any checks? No, I don't have any checks in this position. I'm not sure why they put the knight there, but they did. Do I have any captures? I think that's my only capture in this position, but that would just force them to take with the pawn, which, I mean, I don't think that messing up of their pawn structure would be that big a deal for my opponent. And it would just be a trade, wouldn't it? Do I have anything else? I mean, I guess I could move this bishop forward. because that threatens the queen, which would then have to go someplace. It only has a few safe squares it can go to, well, this one. So it has 3 safe squares it could go to, but then I would just push the pawn forward, wouldn't I? And then my bishop and queen would both be guarding the pawn there. So I think they would end up losing a piece. I think. I'm going to try it. Oh, it did go back. Well, the only reason I thought about that as a puzzle solution was because of the pawn push. So I'm going to push the pawn and I think win a piece for a pawn. Oh, okay. It stopped. Well, then I'm happy about that. It only has a pass rate of 19%. So I'm glad I found it, but I couldn't find anything else. That's why I tried that. Next puzzle. Oh, looks like we're getting pretty close to checkmate here. What do we have? Because that's 2 moves to mate. Can my opponent do anything if I play queen to h6? I don't think they can do anything about that because they can't. Yes, they can currently check me. But then I could either just move out of check. Yeah, I think I would just move out of check. I was going to say I could take with the queen and then I would just go up the piece for the pawn, but then they would take my queen. And if I took back, I would be up a piece for the pawn, but I wouldn't have my mating attack anymore. So I think if I play here and they check me, I think it would be best to just move over. And then no matter what they did, I would have mate on the next turn. But let's find out if that's right. It was. Oh, and they did do the thing that I thought. Okay, well now the question is, do I go up the piece or do I just move over so I can continue checkmating? Oh, that's a good question. I'm pretty sure my checkmate is ironclad, so I'm just going to move the king over one. Oh, that was it. I wonder how bad it would have been had I gone the other way. Would it have been losing? Oh, and again, I don't like this annotations here. It's distracting from what the actual moves are. Okay, so they played that first, which before that they had a huge advantage. They had several options. They could put the rook on e8. They could put the bishop on e5. Wait, that's e5? Why? I don't know why they would put the bishop on e5, but that's e5, correct? And that's the only bishop that can go to e5. Why wouldn't I take their bishop if they did that? Oh, I could, but I'd still be way behind. It said it would actually be better for me to take this bishop, and I would be way behind. Why would I be way behind? Because they'd play h6, and I would draw. Oh, because I would have to move my queen, and then they would still be, the rook would be in trouble. And if I just dropped my queen back, then they would take this, and yeah, okay. I guess I understand that. But because they played this first instead, then I have a mate in 3. Okay, I play that. They take here, and if I take it, okay, I'm losing. So it would not have even been ahead had I done this, because they would have taken, and I would have taken. Why are we not even? I'm up a piece, right? Oh no, I only have 1 rook. Oh, I miscounted the pieces at the beginning. I just knew that mate was better than going up a piece, but yeah, I miscounted. They have a whole extra rook. Okay, never mind. Next puzzle. Okay, and we know that puzzles usually start off with a blunder. I wish we could know that during a game when somebody played a move and they're like, oh, that's a blunder, so I have to look for something. I think that's a blunder because I can move my d-pawn and that opens this attack on the rook. Now, if I just take this pawn over here, they can just move their rook and I've gained a pawn. But if I push the pawn forward, I'm threatening their bishop. So then if they move the rook, I get the bishop. And then our queens are facing each other, but mine's defended. So that looks like what I want to do here, but I want to check for checks first. I do not have any checks. In a game here, I would probably castle, but since they moved that and I know it's probably a blunder, I'm going to play d5 and we're going to hope that that is correct. It was, and they moved the rook over, so I get the bishop for a pawn. That's got to be the right answer. And then take back the queen. Oh, and 11 points? I thought I took a while on that. Okay, pass rate of only 26%. It's definitely looking like they reset a bunch of the puzzle statistics that they had been storing for a long time. Next. Well, I noticed that my queen is undefended, so, you know, if they move the knight, then my queen's in trouble. So I have to pay attention to that. I'm not sure if I want to move it, or where I would move it for that matter. For example, I don't want to move it down here because then they would have the fork of my queen and rook. I could just take this rook. What would they do then? Then if they move the, well, actually, if they move the knight, I'm just going to take the queen because that, what? No, I didn't click on it. That's happened to me 2 or 3 times on this site, and it's pretty frustrating. I was very careful about left clicking. Oh my goodness. I know the camera's not on my hand, so we can't prove that. But anyway, what I was trying to say was they can't move that. In fact, yeah, that's what I was doing. I was drawing an arrow from the knight, so how did it move my queen there? That doesn't make any sense. Come on. Anyway, moving the knight isn't a check, so I would just take their queen, so I shouldn't even be worried about that. Can I get rid of those arrows by, say, tapping on this pawn over here? So I was just thinking of taking this rook. If they take back, I would take that, and if they took my rook, then I would get their knight. That's what I was going to do, but That turns out to be okay. And then I get their knight and I'm ahead. But I lost 12 points for that. Wow. Something happened there and it moved that first. Obviously, I didn't mean to do that. Next. Okay, it does look like they're closing in here. And now this pawn is pinned, and therefore this bishop is kind of stuck in here. But I wonder what they could do about me putting my queen in here because I'm threatening checkmate. Can they do anything about that? I guess they could move this rook over to guard the square where I want to checkmate, but then I would just move I couldn't move my rook down because of the queen being in the way. Okay. Because I was thinking it might have been like one of those other puzzles where it's a one move prep and then checkmate. But no, I think if I put my queen in here on f2, they can guard my checkmating square with the, if they do that, then I just back up and it's mate because their own rook has blocked their king in. Okay, can they do anything else then to guard that square? Their queen can't get back there to guard it. Their bishop can't get anywhere to guard it. And their only check is here, in which I would just take with the bishop. I'm going to play queen to f2. They checked me with the pawn. With the knight. Well, I can't move out of, I can move out of check, but I should just take it, right? I'm just going to take it. Oh, and then they checked me with the queen. I'm going to take that too. Okay. I'm still wondering, can they stop my mating attempt, or are they just going to keep checking me with random pieces? Because I thought that was the point of the puzzle. I have to go to the analysis board here. How much time have I spent? Oh, not that much. So they played here. Okay, I do have a mate in 7 as long as I play here. And they could have checked me with the queen first or with the knight. It's about the same. So they checked me with the knight. If I move the king, then they have mate immediately because the bishop's there. Oh, and I think even if the bishop wasn't there, I think that would be mate. Well, it's a good thing I took then. I didn't see that at all. I just thought it would be better to take the knight than to get out of the way. Okay, now queen to b6 is their best move, or rook capturing here, but they didn't go to b6. They went to d6, but I guess it's about the same. And of course I have to take it. So I did, because if I went down here, they could check me. And then when I took that, then I think they would have mate or something over here. No, not quite. I think I misunderstood there. It says they have mate in 2 if I go down, and that's because they can check here, and I have to take it, and then that's mate. Okay, I just missed where that mate was, but out of curiosity. Anyway, I took their queen, and that was the end of the puzzle, but now, yeah, they have to keep checking me. Doesn't really matter where they do it. Either way, I'm going to get their... Oh, and that's why it stopped, is because I would have had 2 different ways to take that rook. Okay, what if they had checked me the other place that it said? I still would have had multiple options. I could have taken with the pawn. I could have taken with the king for that matter, even though it's not listed. How bad would that have been? Wait. Oh, now the king is listed. It wasn't listed a second ago. It said king. Putting the king back would have been fine. So yeah, basically they have to keep throwing away their pieces and checking me. If I take with the pawn, I assume they would check here next, and I would have to take that, and then they would be out of checks. I did understand, and I just wanted to make sure that I understood the point of the puzzle. Next. Well, I'm in check, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 ways to get out of check. Okay, or 5. I can take it. Oh, maybe I should because their knight is pinned. The bishop's only guarded by the rook. Okay, let's see. If I take this with the rook, and are they going to take back? Because their knight's undefended. If I take this, I don't know if they're going to take back or not, but I would be ahead at that point because the bishop's basically free. If they take my rook, I take back, and we've traded, and then I'm going to get their knight too. Okay, what do they do if they're not going to take back? What do they do? Because I'm going to get the knight on the next turn. Yeah, I don't think I should just move out of check. I'm pretty sure. Surely taking the piece is better than just moving out of check. I think if I just move out of check, I'm still going to get the knight. But this way I get both, I think. Oh, they did. Oh, I can't do that because the knight's technically guarding it, even though the knight is pinned. Okay, well, I only have one legal move here. Oh, wow. That one was completely on me. I should have just taken the knight because that wasn't a check. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, my brain went half to sleep. I should have just taken the knight and then taken the rook. Exactly. Okay. Very well solved. I didn't. I messed that up completely. And I was way up here at whatever point total that was. And do I have enough time to get back to that or not? Okay. Let's restart this puzzle because I did understand this part. What I didn't... I don't know why I thought I was still in check and I had to get out of check. I had to obviously take the knight. They had to get out of check, and then I get the rook. Okay, next. I think this is the kind of thing that comes with not playing for several days, not really trying to solve any puzzles for several days, and that is hurting me. I do have a check here. I think that's my only check, but then they come around here. and I don't have a good follow-up. Looks like they're coming after me pretty hard here. I mean, another thing that I could do is take this pawn, but that's not a check. And then if they check me, what, I come in here? Oh, I guess I could go here with the rook, which is guarded by my queen, and then they have to run away with their queen. But couldn't they just say go over here where that pawn is protecting their queen? But then I could check down there. They would have to come up, and then I wouldn't get this pawn because their queen would be guarding it. Let me start over, and hopefully I won't accidentally move a piece. But anyway, what if I checked? They just get out, right? I want to make sure I don't have a good follow-up for that before I discard the check, because I don't see a good follow-up for that. Or would queen to e1 be a good follow-up for that? Because then I am threatening mate. It's not a check, so they would have a turn. They could check me, like we said, and I could get out. But then this pawn's defended. This pawn is not defended, but I guess they could take it, but then I have mate. I'm going to try that. Oh, it was that. Well, then I'm going to try this, because that's the only reason I went for the check. Okay, they did do that. Well, now I'm pretty sure I only have one legal move, because this is a check. No, I have two legal moves. Oh my. I don't want to go to h5. If I go to h5, they can check me again. But if I go to g5, the only way they can check me again is by giving up the queen one of these three ways. So I'm going to go to g5. Oh, they can check me with the pawn. Well, now I have two legal moves. I can keep going forward to g4, which prevents their king from moving up, or I could go to h5 where they could check me again. So I'm going to go to g4, I'm pretty sure. Oh, they gave away the queen. Okay, and then, well, that's not a giveaway, but now I have to go to h5 because I can't go there, or take this pawn, or stay here, or take my own pawn. So I have to go to h5. I'm not sure why that last move was in there because it was forced. The interface would not have let me move anywhere else. Can we back up? Oh, no, we can't. Okay. Well, now we got to play the whole thing out again. But I just wanted to confirm that after this, and this, and this, the interface won't let me move any other piece. Like, it literally won't let me move this pawn, or this pawn, or this pawn because I'm in check. And it won't let me move my queen because I'm in check, or my rook. And it won't let me move my king here, or here, or here, or here, or here, or here, or here. So that other puzzle that didn't continue but should have, but this puzzle did continue even though there's no point because it'll only let me go to one square. All right, that's my old man complaining for the video. I mean, I have a check, but I think they could just block with the pawn, or the knight, or the bishop. So the check is probably not it. I could take the pawn, but then they take back, and then I could check, but they could still block with the bishop or the knight. Or I could threaten the queen with this bishop. And when they move it, take that bishop. Does that sound great? Let's do that. Oh, they took it. What? Was that their best move? I have to know. I'm running out of time if I'm going to try to get back up to whatever score I was on. So after they did that, which was really bad, bishop to h6 was my best move. Oh, and it was their best move to take it. I thought it would have been their best move to get out of the way, but no, because then I just get the bishop. Okay, that's what I thought. But I'm surprised it was their best move to give up the queen. I don't know how high I was there when at my little peak. Okay, I went and checked my statistics on my stats page, and I apparently got to 1503, so I need to solve at least one more puzzle, but maybe two, in order to end, higher than I got in the middle of the video, which I would like to do. Okay, I don't know. I do have a check. That gives them two options, and then I wouldn't have a good follow-up, I guess. I mean, I also have this check with my other rook back there. Is that better? Because if they take, and let's assume that they will, I'll take back, and then they have to either drop back or go toward my rook, and then I just take this knight, I think. Oh, wait, are they about to checkmate me? I have to be careful. Let's see. If I take on f7, my other rook is still in the back rank. I take back, then my rook leaves the back rank, and my king is in a very precarious position. But that's a check, so they can't checkmate me just yet with either their queen or their other rook. They will have two choices. If they choose g8, I take the knight with check. If they choose h8, I go past the knight with check. And then when they come over, then that's mate. Okay, so I don't have to worry about the back rank. Let's do it. It's got to be this. They went toward it, so I take the knight. They have to go over. But they didn't, because then I would have two different mating options. Okay, wow. Oh, I have to do one more puzzle to break 1503. Not that I have to. It's not a rule. It's just something I would like to do, even though I'm past my time. Well, I've already missed 3 puzzles in this video. What are the odds of me missing this one? Let's hope that those odds are very, very low. But hey, I have a pawn here on h6, which is a good sign. It's guarding a square directly in front of the king. This looks like another one where I have to get in close and threaten checkmate. Let's just check this out. I'm very carefully right-clicking. If I move my queen to f6, can they do anything? Can't check me with the bishop. They can't check me with their queen. Can they stop checkmate? Because I'm threatening checkmate. I think it's got to be queen to f6. Oh, and it stopped. Okay. I did look at the total attempts on every one of these puzzles, even though I did quit talking about it. And not one of them was over 100. So if something, just like in my last video that I noticed, something very strange is going on with the puzzles database here on chess.com. Either they've introduced tons of new puzzles and I'm no longer getting the old ones, which seems weird because they're supposed to be randomly fed to me. And there were a bunch of old puzzles around the 1500 rating range. Or they've taken all the old puzzles and maybe some new ones and reset their puzzle rating and all their stats to 0 so that none of these puzzles have been attempted more than 100 times yet, which is really weird because it's now been more than a week, hasn't it? It's been more than a week since they upgraded this interface and forced me to go back to classic mode. So I'm thinking something might be off with these stats. Not that there's a problem with that, but it is weird that they're all that low, and it makes me wonder what's going on in the background. It also makes me wonder how maybe this puzzle shouldn't be rated 1497. If it's only been attempted 91 times, that might not be enough to establish this puzzle's rating. This puzzle might be a 700 rated puzzle after, a bunch of people figure out that that's it. It has a 75% pass rate. I imagine this puzzle's rating should start coming down. And a bunch of the others, they might either go up or down or anyway, I'm glad I ended my, my video here with my rating higher than it was when I started and higher than my peak in the middle. I wish I hadn't have missed a couple of those. The one I know I missed by accident, this one right here, I was trying to draw an arrow with the knight saying that they couldn't check me. And somehow it moved my queen up there and said I failed. And that was weird. Now this one I just failed by moving too quickly. I checked, they moved forward, and I checked again, and I have no idea why I just put my queen there because clearly they could take it. So that was, bumbling on my part, but the puzzle itself wasn't that hard. And then the last one, what was the problem with the last one? Oh yeah, this is the one where I thought that I was in check once their rook came down here, and that doesn't even make sense. Wait, you see it? Here it says this one has 62,000 attempts. Okay, that's a number that I'm used to seeing, but that's not the number that we saw during the video. Although if I didn't mention it, my camera view would have been in the way and you wouldn't have seen it, but I did check every single one of them and they were all under 100. Wait, let's go back. Yeah, when I go to the very first puzzle that I solved, the one where I did mention it, this has 101,000 attempts, over 100,000 attempts. That makes a ton of more sense than what we saw during the video when I was actually getting to these puzzles. 28,000 attempts on that one. The third one, the one that I missed, 35,000 attempts. Okay, so something really weird is going on with the database if that number's under 100 when I solve it, but then when I go back and look at it, it's in the thousands. Well, that's enough digital detective work for me for one day. Thank you for spending your time here. I'll see you next time.